Hey, chat, how's everyone doing today? I, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit tired today, but it happens. So, I have the file open now. Last we left off, I changed the gazebo a bit to make it so the characters can walk through. I do need to do something about these walls, and there are a couple of other things I need to finish as well for these planks. So, just go in here. Now, I think the first thing I'm going to fix is get out of local view here. So the first thing I need to do is finish these planks here. I'll just hide these. Hide those, because I do need to focus on this for just a moment. So this is the... What have I done here? Try and put that back in the correct spot. Yeah. So this here, I need to transfer its information to the low poly object. I do know that they're around here somewhere because I just saw them. So plank low poly, which is this one here. Yeah, got that now. Because I've noticed from last stream that I'm pretty sure I'm actually missing a key component here. So if I plug this in, I'll focus on this one specifically for just a moment here. Yeah, this is entirely off. The second I plug, I believe it's, yeah, UV is correct. Now why would this... Okay, it's only mapping the normal data. I've not done the shading information for this. So what I need to do is duplicate this. Make a new one, and it's going to be blanks. Empty. 8. There we go. And now, if I bring back this... Now I do need to remove all of this from view. So that's gone. Yeah, so the only ones that should be visible at the moment are the plank and the, like, the two plank objects, which looks to be correct. And my poly, and a tree input pointiness, on a ramp here, 4.6. Doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, huh? Let's try up this a bit. Actually, make sure that this is hidden. Oh, something is visible in here. So I want to have... Where is it? No, not those. Just that and that. So now, if I hide the low poly... Yeah, I should have this visible. Okay, there we go. There's the board information there. So I'll set it up to be around about 0.45. Yeah. So that gives me all that information. Now, the stuff along the front I'm not as fond of being so bright. But if I move it too much, it's just gonna look weird on the back, I think. So, like, probably not any more than 0.65. It's strange though. I would have thought that the coloring would be a bit different. Let's try bringing it down a bit more. 0.48. Let's set this back to 0.6. So yeah, there's actual information here now. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now I need to bring back the low poly object. Make sure that's enabled. Cycles, good. And then it's used for this one, I believe, right? Selected to active. Not enabled for rendering. Why is it not enabled? Oh, right, of course. Forgot about that. Alright. That was good. Now if I hide this... Okay, yeah, there's some janky stuff going on. Like some real janky stuff. So that's all black and even though it's supposed to be transparent, but I think that's just part of the course of this thing. Okay, so maybe I have to extend out the range slightly. Isn't there a way to, yeah, reset the default value? So let's make the extrusion like 0.1 meters. Now if we bake this. Hopefully, it should work out a bit better. There's too much. Here's the issue, chat, right? There's too much blacked out bits here, like on the back, and not enough on the front, so to speak. So that means I'm going to have to keep adjusting the values of this. I wonder if the world is contributing in some way. So if I set this to say 1. Yeah, it's just gonna leave it like that. I wanna probably have it white. Yeah, I think that should be fine, and then I can just edit the node here to become probably 0.53. Probably 0.46. So that should give me all the information I want without completely obliterating parts of the mesh. Now, this thing here, there's not much I can do about that, but that's fine. Alright, let's send it to bake. Locally, and then like that. Now if I hide the high poly one, that is turned completely dark. Why? Why has it done this? The settings aren't that high as far as I know. And that doesn't look any weirder, so I wonder if this has been left behind, so to speak. So if I save as, and plank 1 empty. Now if I reload this, yeah, now it works correctly. Okay, I just need to reload it. So now what I can do is I can probably go into the wooden beam low poly and then just copy all of this. Go back to plank. Copy. Now I can move these around as I please. And then I can just adjust those. Okay, so overlay is good. The coloring on this probably slightly saturated. Both ways. Certainly doesn't need to be at 8, that's for sure. It could be a little bit better. Maybe. Yeah, bringing that down doesn't really help my case either, does it? Oh well. Doesn't look terrible, at least. I'm gonna set the noise texture here to be a bit better. Okay, not bad. Oh, distortion could help. Actually, distortion helps immensely here. Yeah, that looks alright. Now, if I go back to layout mode, yep, that looks exactly the way that I wanted it. And now I can probably make wooden plank walls on here. So now, like, I can just throw this one in here. So the high poly spheres. So those can go, and now we have this little boy, which is... Sorry? Oh, right, because this can actually just be straight up distorted now. I can just wobble this around as I need. Okay, cool. So we have that now. And these should all... Wait, is that the concrete wall that I... Oh yeah, I think this is the concrete that I made. Probably could make it a little bit more cartoonish though. So let's just move that out of the way. And then Control L and link object data. Okay, cool. Now we've got these all going on. So yeah, I could probably even use these as decorative pieces if I like made a second set and just made the wood a bit darker. I could use these as, like, I can just lean them across beams and whatnot to give things a little bit more intrigue. Yeah. So, what next? I do probably need a couple more objects, actually. I'm gonna consult the list I made a while ago. It's around here somewhere. Where is it? I think my notes have disappeared on me. Oh no. That's not great. Why have all my notes disappeared? Is it because I'm in this mode? Can't be. Oh no, I've lost all my rulers as well, I think. Oh, that's not great actually, because I kind of needed that. I needed that information. Oh no. Whoopsies. So all these are on locked frames, so I don't know where they could have possibly gone. Dang it, man. I was hoping I could check to see what else I needed, but I guess Blender has decided that my notes are worth nothing to it. Sounds about right. Alright, so we've got wood. I'm going to adjust this concrete texture to work a little bit better. So, leave that and go into this. Make sure we're in this mode. I can probably... So what does this control exactly? Controls that. Oh yeah, Blender does not like this whatsoever. Sounds about right though. Shower time, hey Foxy, hope you enjoy your shower. I'd probably even make the noise texture just a little bit thinner. In fact, I'm actually gonna set the... Ah, okay, so the detail deals with that. If you make it really low poly, this is just like a ridiculously low poly concrete, which kind of slaps, not gonna lie. I do want it to be somewhat detailed though. In fact, this is the wrong detail section, isn't it? Probably want this one here. Okay, so that controls that. Roughness, maybe scale. Nope. What about distortion? Okay, it does some stuff, but not quite what I want it to. So let's check the Voronoi then. Unless I have to have a combination of the two. That's probably the case, isn't it? So that gives detail. It doesn't really help all too much. Yeah, I think I have to edit them both at the same time if I wanted any good results. But, like, this is fine in terms of a texture. Oh wait, I can mess with it from the mapping perspective, right? So I can like 0.5 and it looks a little bit different. Yeah, I think that works. Now I have that as well as a good item to use for building stuff. In fact, I'm going to try it out on the safe house. I'm going to duplicate one of these as well. Vertex. Okay, cool. think I'll even snap to this one. Go edge. Oh, need to remember to turn the center off. Oh, now I can grab these two. Oh, not that one. That one. I probably get away with one more. So I'll do that. I'll do X again. Yeah, and then I can just wrap it around as need be. Yeah, I think 3x3 will suit this just fine. And then I can just mess about with it at a later time. These. Take that. This way. Oh. Now I should be able to duplicate this slot. Not that one, that one. The Z 180. And did I not duplicate the middle bit? Say around about there. Yeah, it sounds about right. Alright, cool. So most of these buildings will probably have a second floor to them. That's the thing as well. Because, like, I'm looking at things like Venice, where there's quite clearly 2 floors on each of these buildings. I'm just thinking, like, some of these will be 1 floor, but a good majority are going to be 2 floors. Like, I'm looking at Canada here, there's, like, obviously a 1 floor on the foreground, but then there's a bunch of 2-story buildings. I think the only one in this entire set of screenshots that is not a 2-story building is shockingly Arpeggio, like Paris Plinth. Because that's quite clearly not it's not a 2-story building. It's a machine room, obviously, and like when you go into it, it's 2 stories, but from the outside, it's definitely not. Not by a long shot. So like, I can have a primary and secondary set of these if I need to. I should be able to take that right there, and now we've got the starts of the same house. That's not too bad. I could probably get away with making a set of stairs as well. to actually go up to the safe house. I'm thinking like along here maybe. So like looking at this, it'll be. Actually, no. My thing disappeared automatically. Why did it disappear? Might give some context as to the location of my missing notes. So it says these are viewable. The bar down here is not playing whatsoever. So it can't be that. Okay, undo that. There's gotta be something that shows my select box, origins, workspace. Nope. You don't see anything. I don't understand why it's so bent on not showing up whatsoever. Like, there's no ruler data or anything like that. Let's try. Yeah, it's not on the viewer either. So for whatever reason, some way, somehow, I've managed to permanently disable the annotations in this save. Incredible. How have I managed this? Like, all these are unlocked frames. And yet somehow, even when I draw there, it doesn't do anything. Why is it doing this? It can't be because of the mode I'm in, because it still disappears regardless. Alright, Google, I'm requiring your assistance. Okay, let's see. 3D cursor is somewhere behind you. What the hell does that mean? So if I Alt S, this thing will fix. Sorry, Control Shift. Okay, what was the shortcut for this again? Wasn't Control Shift. Was Control Alt. How is it? I managed to. Is it shift? It's shift. I'm stupid. I have no idea how or why my brain's just not comprehending the shortcuts I need for anything at the moment, but what can you do? Okay, so now if I pull out the annotation tool, is this going to work finally? Okay, yes it does. So it's based around the 3D cursor, not the greatest, I must admit. But that also means that all of my stuff has disappeared and I have no idea where in the hell it is. Because even if I hide that, it's not here anymore. All of my notes are gone. Thanks, Blender. Very cool. So, yeah, I'll get the general idea. It's just making a set of stairs that go down here. Have like a platform at the top. So, what do I want to do first? Do I want to make stairs? Or maybe more walls would be preferable. I think maybe more walls is preferable. So, I still need to do doors as well, I just realized. So, like, that's the scale of an average door. And while the doors in this game are fairly exaggerated, they're not that exaggerated. Just trying to look for a good example here, because a lot of these photos won't include doors. So, like, I'm looking at probably Venice is my best example here. The doors are quite tall and wide compared to the buildings themselves. But that's not entirely what I'm aiming for. I could work on this actually. So make a duplicate, multi that, and alt R. So that to be on the y-axis. Alright, let's edit this thing to see if I can make a door. Now, what kind of door design do I want to go for here? Because doors in New Zealand are fairly basic, right? Like, I'm just gonna pull this up. Because, like, I'm looking at basic designs for doors, and, like, first of all, most of mine wouldn't in the first place. But they're very generic. Like, making a generic door is not the hard part. The hard part is making it look cartoonish in nature. Like, I would consider this design, but the problem is it's an interior door. And the difference between interior and exterior doors, I feel like, is quite large. At least large enough to be noticeable if you put the wrong one on. So I'm thinking... maybe something not far off of the Venice designs, perhaps? Where is it? So, like, it is wobbly, but what I can do is I can actually possibly do a 3-stripe design and then just have, like, a generic handle and whatnot. I'll probably do that. I might actually have to make multiple different doors. Ah, that's not what I want to grab. Grab that one, thanks. So, multiple types of doors, huh? Let's see, what's my... okay, the orientation isn't shown this view. So that's the back, good to know. I'm gonna extrude this out, I think. A, and then shift enter to calculate that. Now these aren't generally very thick. I'll probably say... how big is this? I think, yeah, it doesn't tell me the actual scale of the object until I've left edit mode. I'll say probably that much is sufficient. So now I can duplicate this, move it off the Y for just a minute, and then I can start making stuff out of this. So the first design in question is just a very basic, like, wooden door style here. And that isn't actually too hard. That's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cuts. Probably half that, maybe. 4 cuts. Because I still need to bevel and extrude the scale and all that. And then Alt E. Okay, so we've got that going. Now I do need to make door handles. am pretty sure most of the doors in the Sly Cooper series, for whatever reason, one reason or another, just straight up don't have handles. Because, like, I'm looking at backgrounds here, right, and, like, you don't see a handle on that thing. Where else have we got? Okay, it's got this one here, no handles on those. So the only ones that actually have handles, as far as I've noticed, are ones that Sly or something else directly interacts with. So in the case of this one, there is a handle. Yeah, like, see, here with Johnson, with, I believe that's Canada 1. There's no door handles or anything along those lines. So, if I were to make door handles, it'd have to be on buildings that you would physically visit, like you would actually go and like raid or something like that for a mission. So those are the only times you'd see handles on doors at the same. So this, the way it is actually probably just fine. Let's make something similar on this one. Y and then what other designs did I want? So probably either a 3-stripe design down the middle, or I can have like a straight glass panel door could work, but at the same time I have to take into account the fact that the insides of whatever building is not going to be viewable, so having like huge glass panels is probably not a good idea. I'm going to try this. I'm going to inset both of these. I'm going to inset these ones further. Inset, vigil. Scale of origins. Round about there. Then Alt E. Long moments and just that in. And all of a sudden we have a 3-line, like a 3-glass piece of wood. What else do we have? I feel like one more door should be sufficient, because like it is going to be spread out across several different parts of the buildings. Could do like a rustic style one, but at that point, I feel like that sort of falls away from the design I'm going for. Because I was looking at where it's around here somewhere. Actually, that could be a viable design. Just was essentially 2 squares. Those are also fire resistant glass, huh? Maybe something like that. I could do these, and that would probably fit the vibe of New Zealand quite a fair bit with the spring door. But the issue with that is I have to basically build entirely. Like, I have to build an entire door high poly and then make it down to low poly. Or, like, take a screenshot of whatever I was doing. But yeah, I was looking at, like, this. Like, this is probably not a good idea. Because, again, those are literally just barn doors. I should actually probably look at... So yeah, like, they all look the same. Why are we like this? Okay, I'm just gonna go for the generic door here. Even though it's more of a UK design, like New Zealand's close enough to UK where it wouldn't really matter. Okay, and one more here. Now, this is a design. So the bottom panels are shorter than the top panels. So that needs to be cut. This one needs to be cut and down a bit. And then set these individually. Now they are the same width, which is probably important here. They're fairly close together. Let's true normals. Now these do actually have a outer bevel on each of these. So I will need to do something about that. It just collapses that much. Actually, come to think of it. Okay, strange. I wonder why it does that. Okay, that's probably fine for now. So now I have all these doors. So have a look at each of these. So this is door mood wood more like. Wood planks. It's gonna be door 3 glass. And then door wood panel. And then I can just make these into a collection here. So do, would it be classed as a prop? Probably not, right? Alright. Let's make a duplicate of this one. Base. Okay, cool. There we go. Now we have a door going. Probably could get away with this being a bit thinner than it currently is. Alright, so let's... Did I scale... Did I Alt-D this, or is it just Shift-D? I'm sure it doesn't matter either way, I can just... link object data, and then edit this way. So, 0.5. Nope. Scale, Z5. And same with this one. There we go, and now the doors are a bit thinner. Alright, now... Maybe I can make a separate door specifically for the safe house, but I'm not going to do that quite a second. So, Z5... And right here. Sorry, chat. I should probably make... okay, I forgot to do the thing, chat. Z5, I forgot to duplicate the thing. I don't know how. Alright, cool. Now, for shading. Hey, Likely, how you doing? So, right here, I probably want to duplicate the wood from, where is it? From Wooden Plank 2, I probably want to apply the color. Actually, Wooden Plank 1. Okay, so I need to copy this stuff here. So, copy that, and then and I can just use this as the basis for what I'm doing. Overlay, don't do that. Okay, so now that's done that. Now I can probably... The world around me hasn't crumbled, but was close for a bit. Yeah, I feel that on a spiritual level. Like, I'd be damned if that's not a mood. Alright, so the scale on this probably needs to be hopefully not too big. Probably about 5. Now here's the thing, I want to probably make these a bit deeper, the crevices on the door, that is. So I'm looking at these doors, and like the indents are pretty obvious, but they're not. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain. So the crevices here do provide a lot of shading, but it doesn't provide enough to where it's blacked out, you know? And also, all these are different stains and different colors. I wonder if it might be worthwhile. I don't really want to, but my pup is recovering from her surgery and seems to be doing good. I'm glad to hear it, Likely. Give your pup my well wishes. Her rehab starts next week. Okay. Might I ask what she needs rehab for? Just scale these and along the Y. Maybe like that. Okay, that does provide a little something extra, but not quite what I'm looking for here. Alright. Oh, okay, it's way too dark now. It's alright. I guess it's not exactly what I was aiming for. She tore her CCL, which is the same thing as our ACL. Oh, yeesh, that is rough. No pun intended, I'm sorry, but yeah, that sounds absolutely terrible for her to try and rehab from. But hopefully she does better. Now, I want 2 slots for this one. I'm gonna use the wooden one as a placeholder. Wooden door as a placeholder. Why is this not... Oh, wait, it's because this is in slot 2. Hello? Thank you. Need ass thing. So now I want to make a glass texture. I'm going to set it to these slots. Now, the idea behind this is I do not want this to be transparent at all. But I want it to give it the feel of glass. Which is shockingly not that difficult of a task. Just have like blue, have the roughness be all the way down. Now, I don't want the glass to be too obvious, but I do want it to be semi-reflective. The unfortunate thing is that the metallic being like that would make my life a lot more difficult. So probably what I want to use is transmission value. And set that up. Probably around about here. Maybe a bit brighter, a little bit less saturated. Yeah, probably around about. Now, what the shit? Okay, maybe a little too realistic. It happened exactly 10 years after having to put my first dog down for the cause of a similar limp. I legit thought I was saying goodbye that night. Ah, yeah, the PTSD from that was probably flaring up. At least it turned out better this time. See, I'm looking at this, and it seems like a lot of the glass. Because I'm looking at Venice here again. A lot of them seem to be backlit, which isn't necessarily awful, and I could actually get away with making two different types of doors that use those types of lighting effects. So how much of this is... It seems like a lot of the time it's closed curtains directly behind the windows. So maybe super reflective glass is not the way to go about this. Because, like, it seems the only real exception to this rule is probably Venice. Because I think pretty much all of Canada is lit up like a Christmas tree, in fact. So, yeah, I think maybe not going too high on the reflective values would be in my best interest. Okay, get all this garbage out of the way. There we go. So, set that light. Now, maybe the coat. But I took her alone for her surgery, she got it, and we'd be Gucci Mane now. Okay. Well, hopefully the place you took a loan out from doesn't charge too much interest, because they're probably really stressful in trying to help your pup recover. I'm sure everything will go well, though. I could probably check IOR. So, it's a fraction list, and we're looking for glass and not. Oh, I forgot that glass has like 50 billion different values. And a lot of them seem to be around about 0.5 either way, so I don't need to change anything. What if I give this a coat? Okay. I would probably get away with like a frosted glass effect. Okay, is it just me? Just quietly. Does this or does this not look like Roblox glass? Nah, the interest rate's the same as my Ducati's loan? I assume it's pronounced Ducati. I've never seen that word before. You have to excuse me for being an uncultured little shit. Okay, let's set up the transmission just a bit here then. Probably motorcycle. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. That's a lie. I have heard of Ducati now that I think about it. They're just so rare over here that I kind of just forgot they existed. Alright, now for this one I want to do the same. Go for door. And I can just keep the slots in case I need them. So they all look very similar. Motorcycles are rare there? No. Ducati specifically. Like, the most common motorcycle type in New Zealand, I am 95% certain is just straight up Harley Davidson. And then, like, I think the second rarest is maybe Ego. But that's as far as I know. Okay, so... Yeah, the contestants ones are boarded up. There's, like, interesting patterns here, but not interesting enough. Maybe I need to add some brackets to these doors. Because the... Actually, what I can do with these ones specifically, I can actually insert these, not individually. Ah, no, I can't insert them actually. Wonder if outsetting the ones in here would work. Then that just goes over into the glass, and that's not what I want either. Oh, they were rare around here. They were rare around here too, but now that I got one, I see them in Aprilas everywhere. I have never seen an Aprilia in my life. But, like, I've seen a Harley Davidson probably just about every night for, like, the past 10 years. I wonder if it's not cartoony enough. Maybe I can just add a little bit of randomized things. Oh. Okay, not enough, it seems. Give it a mixture with nuts. It does give it a little bit of variance. It's probably fine. Actually, do I want to make duplicates of these? Probably. Shift D, Alt G for all of those, and move this selection. Before I mess anything up here. And randomize 0.05. Just a little bit more. I want to get too greedy. That's probably fine. Oh wow, it's like really messed with. Actually, did it mess with these? It did a little bit, but not too much. Alright, now this thing. I do have a few complaints about this one, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some extra to this one specifically. So I'm going to Shift A and add. If people call Ducati owners bougie, Ducati owners call Aprilia owners bougie. Yeah. And regardless, to me, every one of them is bourgeoisie, you know? Although that's coming from the person who's absolutely fucking terrified about being in a car. So, like, I can't really say much, can I? Let's just shift these selected. So I'll grab this entire thing here. I'd probably make like a couple of metal brackets and then one wooden one to go across the middle. I think would be the best way to go about this design. I think probably around about there. There we go. Yeah, it already looks a little bit more interesting. So it should be C by 0.7 maybe? Should be Z direction. And each of these can be touched twice to give the randomization just a little bit more to work with. And then, yeah, okay, that looks a bit better. I'm gonna make this one be a lighter. Light. Oh, yeah, make a copy of that first. And now I can not do that. Set that back up to one door. Sign it. I'm gonna try these ones all being the same light wood color. Not too much though. Okay, it looks a little bit nicer. I wonder if I have to change up the door design here somehow, because I don't feel as though it's being given enough to work with in terms of like creases. So I wonder how I'm going to go about. Because like it works for a normal door, it just doesn't work here. I wonder if I have to change the color again. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to change the light one. I just want to change this one. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to color pick off this thing. And hope for the best. Okay, so that's like as close to color as I'm going to get. So the roughness of this is a bit higher than usual, so probably 0.7. Because there is still a surprising amount of reflectiveness on this. This one I actually just want to set that down a bit. Okay, I'm going to try syncing these in a bit more and see if I can get them to work out a bit better. It's probably too much now. Actually, no, it's not bad. Okay, it's certainly more obvious. What about in this mode? Okay, yeah, that works a lot better. Okay, now I can leave single view mode. I'm going to shift D, Alt G, and then move that to spheres. This, I'm just going to start messing around with. Around about that would be good. that's 2 of them I've done now. And then for 3... I think I probably need to mess about with the depth scale of these 2. Yeah, so that's like really indented now, which is alright. I'm gonna give these a little bit of mess though. Did I mess up the scale on this at some point? Okay, I'm gonna have to apply the scale and I'm gonna have to relink these together. Data. What have I done? Control L and link object data. Why did it go so weird? Oh well. Object data, and this thing was showing red just now. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Okay, I'll scale that out just a little bit. And then these, I'm actually going to make them into panels. Make them a bit bigger, and I'm going to bevel them. See, making fancy doors is really not that hard. It truly isn't. And now I can Alt D, rotate this. I want to move all these onto the ground. Excellent. Now I got doors out the wazoo. Probably start building these out, like all these buildings just in general. I'm gonna use these 2 brick walls and these posts as more or less like a baseline as to what I'm aiming for, and then I can just replace the walls later. I think that's my best way of going around about this. The other thing I could do is try to make these into one solid object and then try to replace the object data of all of these. Which may not be all that great. But we'll see. Also, that is in the wrong position for whatever reason. Actually, let's do... it's kind of hard to tell because normals can be a bit weird. What is that emote? Why do you have a clicker emote? Although, to be fair, Foxy's emotes were far more questionable last stream, so maybe I perhaps should not be asking questions. Or at least neglect to ask too many of them, rather. Right, got those going. Why is all this stuff moved? Strange. I could have sworn I hadn't moved before. Regardless, time to make some buildings. I think a lot of these are the same standard sizing. So these here. Make sure I haven't grabbed anything that was inside of here. I think it fits these smaller buildings here. What are you working on? I'm trying to make a Sly Cooper themed map to basically just do some renders in, and it's not turning out the way that I hoped, but thanks for asking. How are you doing today? Center to vertex based around the actor. An American town because no sidewalks. Oh yeah, I suppose that is the case, isn't it? Actually, come to think of it, are there any sidewalks in this series? I assume so. Like, a lot of it's either just straight up out in the wilderness or you're walking on roads. Not enough Starbucks or Walmarts for that. For real. Although, in saying that, my country also seems to have a weird obsession with Starbucks. Could not tell you why, but it's certainly a thing, that's for sure. Okay, and get this one over. I think I see a Home Depot though. No, that is an aircraft hangar. Or at least my attempt at one for the time being. Why is that rotating around here? Oh, right, this needs to be medium point first before I can move that over to this. I want the active one to be this one. Like that. Ooh, okay, that's off a bit. Why did that come off? I think I maybe rotated that off. So that's definitely 90 degrees now. Don't forget a McDonald's and a 24-hour 7-Eleven as well, you know, the essentials. Well, as a New Zealander, I don't know what half of those are. But yeah, no, I get the point. I could actually make a 7-Eleven style convenience store in here. It probably wouldn't be too out of the ordinary. And element. Ah, okay. This is... Why has it done this? I wonder. Maybe a Buc-ee's on the outskirts of town. Respectfully, what the hell is a Buc-ee's? Okay, hang on, I need to pause. What the hell's a Buc-ee's? Okay, that tells me everything I need to know, especially that logo. I really should have guessed Texan, but for some reason I didn't. I don't know what that is either, likely. As I said, I'm a New Zealander, not an American. We don't have those things. Now is not the time for this song. Now is really not the time for this. Are you for real, playlist? Why do I even still have that song? Okay, I think that's... okay. This is, like, misaligned. Is it the road that's doing this? It might be. Let's try it. Ah, okay, yeah, that was definitely misaligned. So now, if I pull this up... Actually, just make sure it's... like, it's basically next to this one. Also needs a fast food place that sells Mexican food that has nothing to do with Mexican cuisine. Ah, yes, I'm familiar with Taco Bell, at least. feel like I just walked into a minefield saying that. Like, I'm 90% certain chat's gonna lynch me for that one, but oh well. Okay, and now if I move this here. Okay, now it's straight. Oh, I'll try to translate to New Zealander. They're really big emu refueling stations. Okay, first of all, wrong bird. Second of all, like, we do have convenience stores, we call them dairies. And 74 acres of parking lots. I can't do 74 acres of parking lots, but I can raise you an airfield. Is that going to be acceptable? Those. Oh crap, did I grab something from... Yeah, okay, I accidentally grabbed stuff here. Now I should be able to. How long have you been using Blender? That is a matter of opinion. If we're going by the first time I've ever touched this software, probably about 2 years. If we're talking about how long I've been doing this while my eyes are functional, probably closer to about 8 to 9 months. Oh. Is that one? Yeah. Now, I can just grab this, just grab there, and hide that one. Okay, we're getting somewhere with this. I probably want to make a... Alright, here's the thing. I did have another building block here, but the problem is it's going to be mashed up against this one here. Yeah, but confusing Australia with New Zealand upsets New Zealanders, and for some strange reason that brings me joy. I want to make a comment about that, about a certain part about New Zealand / Australian culture, but I feel like that would probably get me banned from Twitch at minimum, if not YouTube, so I'm just going to refrain for now. Okay, I'm going to... Okay, what I can do... I don't even necessarily need all these, I probably just need this lot. I can probably get rid of this one as well. Yeah, but I don't know why everyone is so obsessed with making New Zealanders miserable over our comparison towards Australia, but it happens. Okay. I did want to move this all across. Problem is, if I do that, it all just does this weird stuff. So maybe I want to medium point. No, even then that still does that. Kiwi birds not in use, yeah. Like, I'm surprised that nobody makes mention of how kiwi birds also need refueling stations. Have any of y'all seen the size of a kiwi? They're not small birds despite what everyone wants you to think. Kiwis are not small. But you can't ride kiwis? That's debatable. That depends on how short you are. If you're short enough, you could absolutely ride a kiwi. Also, moa birds if you travel back in time. Yeah, I prefer to have my body parts still intact, thanks. Right, I probably just need to move along the edge here until it's roughly centered. Probably around about Okay, so yeah, I can get away with doing that. Having your body intact costs extra here in Walmart land. I've noticed. I also noticed that sometimes wishing for your body to be intact causes a bit of a monkey's paw type of effect to go on. But yeah, I've noticed. I've seen the costs. I've seen the costs of keeping people alive, and to be honest, if that were me, just shoot me at that point. I don't want to continue existing. Like, if I'm gonna be paying several hundred thousand just to keep myself alive, there's no point. Now, why is this? These should be all the same size, so if these sink because of the way they're placed, it should be the case. Dying costs extra. Dying costs extra everywhere, though. Like, there's nothing necessarily inherently special about that one. Is this different? Like, it seems to slowly reset, which is weird. Okay, that's probably more closely aligned. I have no idea how this managed to happen, but here we are, I suppose. What made you want to start using Blender? Revenge, mostly. But we're not going to get into that specific story for the time being. But it's mostly a story of vengeance. Oh, it's because all these are actually embedded. I didn't want these to be embedded. So no, that one is correct. The wrong one's actually this. You can't just say that and avoid absolutely all elaboration. Yes, I can, and yes, I will. Oh man, that's really just gonna annoy people in chat, huh? Yeah, this current series of events that I am going through is more or less a villain arc, but in what is essentially my reasons for learning it are exclusively NSFW. Funny you mentioned that. Okay, before anyone gets the wrong idea, it's not for any necessarily illegal reasons. There has just been a specific game company that's been pissing me off for, I want to say, I've met more of you than I care to admit. Yeah, exactly. There is a specific game company, I'm not going to call them out at the moment, who, over the past, I want to say, probably 10 years, if not longer, have... Wait, how would you even use Blender illegally? Brother, I could go for so many different facets of what constitutes illegal that I could actually legitimately get banned off of every platform. I could go into great detail, but for the sake of everyone's mental well-being, I am not going to do that. But yeah, the intrusive thoughts won one day, and now I am currently doing, well, basically just practicing for when I inevitably get around to doing the most elaborate revenge thing physically possible for a human being. So, we shall see how things go. Yeah, I've definitely balked this. No wonder it looks so weird. Did I have this set up this way for a particular reason, or is it just because I'm dumb? Both could be equally as likely, to be honest. Okay, I think everything should be, yeah, just about right. So, I need to set the center, I believe, for this one. Planning a bank robbery is not a use case of Blender I've seen before. It could be potentially if you were dedicated enough, but no, that's not what I was thinking about whatsoever. Nothing you'd find on the hub excluding one man, one jar, but rather copyright infringement. Uh, again, like, if you really read the rules of basically every law, putting a red plus sign in Blender is technically illegal. For those of you who are familiar with particular video games accidentally committing war crimes, you know exactly why that is. I must say, the Stardew Valley patch notes were very interesting after that particular incident. But I mean, like, hey, what can you say? Sometimes committing war crimes is just unavoidable in some cases. Exclusive use granted to the Red Cross by Geneva Convention? Yeah, exactly. Otherwise known as the most commonly violated Geneva Convention rule. Like, how many times has that been done? Like, it would have to be dozens, surely, if not hundreds. So, if I get rid of these, I can now make a duplicate of this seat here, which I fix, and hopefully it should slot in nicely with this other stuff. So we're getting relatively close. I just need to probably center on this one. There we go. Don't you hate it when your finger slips, you choose the wrong color, and suddenly you've accidentally committed a war crime? Most of the time, like, it's accidental, but not in the way you'd expect. It's accidental in the idea that a lot of video games have used that particular type of color slash, like, design scheme for their health packs over the years. Like, I'm pretty sure, I believe it was Halo Combat Edition still has it. Like, that's the first one I think of off the top of my head, but like, because it's like an international sign of health, like, you would expect that to be what you would use, but it's only a war crime if you lose. No comment. Something something Canada joke. Now I can get away with doing this, I think, and that would just have these bits quicker. I probably even move these ones here. Probably this. So move these ones here. Cross. I'm gonna center around the active element. Oh, what have I done here? Okay, so I want to maybe reach. Actually, no, closest would be better, and I can use the interface. wait, what am I doing? I've literally got alt middle click for this. That. Okay, and those walls are thinner than those in American homes. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm trying to conserve as many polygons as possible. Because here's the thing, right? It's something I've discovered during earlier instances of, especially sculpting. If my computer gets above, I want to say probably like 3 million triangles at any one time visible in the scene, the fans on that thing start chugging. And while you can't necessarily hear it on the stream, it does irritate me enough to where I do start to get concerned about my computer. So yeah, like I am gonna eventually put wooden brackets and stuff above and then build up the houses a bit more. So the fact that they're this thin is not going to be... Are you using instances and or linked duplicates? Yes. That's the majority of the scene at the moment. So all of the walls that you can see at the moment, as well as all the pillars, are all instance duplicates. The only time I really use full duplication is if I'm making spears and that sort of thing. If I'm making spears, or if I'm mostly in edit mode, because you can't instance in edit mode, obviously. Are you a Blender user as well? Because that seems like a pretty specific thing to point out. Or maybe you use some other modeling software like Maya, who knows. I don't use it much, it's more like I play a supporting role in the community. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I suppose if you were doing supporting roles, you'd have to know enough about the software. So I just realised that I have that going. And just remove that one. Who cares? Like that. Nope, not that one, that's for sure. Oh wait, it's shift tilde, isn't it? Yeah, it's shift tilde. I sometimes forget what the free cam mode is. Okay, so it doesn't look too bad. I do still need to place props in the scene, but the actual buildings are going quite well so far. So, yeah, just keep forming all these buildings. I'm gonna have to do something about these larger warehouse style ones, because I was initially going to use them as larger apartment blocks, but I'm not entirely certain now. I could make a couple of office buildings, like the taller skyscraper style ones. I did used to use it recreationally, but my hobbies shifted over time. I mostly use it when helping others. I mean, it's a good use of skills you've acquired over the years, and I'm sure somebody who's very new to Blender would very much appreciate it. Do you have like a specific community that you help, or are you just like somebody who floats around on something like Reddit and just gives help whenever needed? I return, hey Foxy, how you doing? R/Blender and R/Blender help. Okay. I can only imagine the sorts of things you've had to fix over the years then. Because I have seen some of the artistic capabilities of some of the people on those subreddits. I know a lot of the ones, I believe it's on, is it Blender Help can be a little bit shitposty sometimes? At least I assume it's that one, if not it's probably another one I was thinking about. I've been trying to keep r/Blender more classy lately. A few too many NSFW inspired ones, perhaps. Because I have seen a few of those over the years. I know it can be immature at times, yep. I've certainly seen in passing one or two instances where that's happened. I could be better, not gonna lie. Is there something that I can help with, Foxy, or is this something that you probably need to keep to yourself? Because I know there are some things you don't enjoy talking about. Make sure I remove the top of the basketball cage. I don't know why I keep it sometimes, but it happens, so eh. My back has been absolutely killing me recently, and not only that, but I've been starting to get more headaches recently as well, which hasn't been helping. And the neurologist is still not letting you get treatment for what is quite obviously a pretty serious issue. Like, that seems really bizarre to me. Like, I'm assuming you've complained to the neurologist at least. Because the amount of times that this has happened to you, like, I would probably be seeking a second opinion. Unfortunately, I know with your current situation, you might not be able to get help with me. Okay, probably need to move it. Around about here is fine. What's this D4 arc song? It honestly feels like it's gone worse. Yeah, you should absolutely go and see something for that, man, because if it's not getting any better, then that might be an indication of more serious problems that need to be looked at. Not always the case, but better to be safe than sorry. Because I know these ones are a bit outside the size of the cranks that I'm using. And then side. I could probably get away with doing that actually. What's the fence look like on this side? Flip that. I'm gonna try this. It's stuck in the middle. I'm posts. No, posts. And now I can grab this. That. I've got two different. You mean doctors because they don't act like doctors at all, Lamau? Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck is going on with the specialists in your area, but considering the amount of times you've gone to be checked up, I feel like they should do a much closer look at whatever's going on with you. Like a much, much closer look. Because this is getting just a little bit goofy at this point. Alright, cool. It seems to work out quite well. The only problem is when I really zoom out, the flickering starts, and I don't enjoy that. Anyways, aside from that, and good news, boyfriend got to see the apartments finally. Oh, he finally got a viewing? How does he like it? Also, please tell me he thought to double check for phone signal and internet signal, because that can be quite a sticking point during apartment hunting. Alright, I need to center this one. He showed me pics, and my lord, is it so spacious? How much how much are you two spending on this? Because if it's that large, like, I imagine the rent on that's going to be absolutely egregious, right? Okay, these ones. I've had issues with wireless signals myself. Internet and mobile data will sometimes go out at the same time, even though they're different services. That's wild. Is there maybe like an issue with local lines, perhaps? Because if it's both service, if it's like two different services, I can only imagine that there's something physically wrong with the cables going through the neighborhood. No. Although mobile data is a bit of a different beast, isn't it? Don't know. He knows the deets of it, not me, since he's the one buying it and moving in person. Fair enough. It's always good to double check those things though, just in case. I was having internet problems a few days ago actually. As it turns out, the modem was absolute dog water. Like the signal for whatever reason would just randomly cut out. And upon replacing the router, not modem, router rather. Everything just fixed. It was really bizarre. So I need to move this stuff as well. The fence is stuck inside everything now. I've been having issues with my connections as well. It seems like everywhere has, and like not necessarily because of the whole, what was it? Google went down. Google Cloud. Like something weird's been going on with the internet recently. Is basically what I'm saying. I don't know what exactly, but something's a bit fucky. I'll try moving this one position. Like that. Hi, not grab. Now these I'm going to have to move along. All these in the correct position, which basically tells me that I need to just suck it up and move these around. Oh, thanks again, that one Foxy. I look up, I see a username, and then immediately it disappears. You are very fast off the draw. Alright, let's try closest here. Still... Pokemon Go has kept telling me network error even though I've had service and it's still said 5G data. Already has the best viewers? I wouldn't say that much. But, I mean, hey, everyone here is chill, so that's all I can really ask for. And of course the shitty hotspot has been doing horrible as of recently, where it's been really slower than it should be. Now, I don't know why it auto-modded that. Yeah, Twitch is a bit weird sometimes. Yeah, that just pulled it way back. Still not quite enough. Okay, still clip that. Not quite. Ran about much. Yeah, because there's just a little bit of a gap there, and I think that makes it work a lot better. Okay, now I can side. Let's see. Need to basically just keep my camera in this weird position. That is my button. Okay, yeah, that should be good. I was mostly joking because I count as one of your viewers right now, so it was like being vain in a slightly indirect fashion. Yeah, okay, something else that you're probably gonna realize very quickly is that I do not understand nuance sometimes. Sometimes I get it, sometimes it goes straight over my head. But yeah, that is pretty funny though, now that you explain it. Alright, and... Okay, I want to... this one. Just want to make sure all of this is basically just Tiny Ninja Road. Right, and as well. We've got a missing pillar. Where is it gone? Eh? No matter. And now it will just clip it, so I have to Wait, but these are all aligned from the looks of it. Oh, this is one of the broken ones, actually. Okay, that makes a bit more sense now that I think about it. Those, that, and grab the fixed one instead. How thoroughly would you say you've indoctrinated into the cult of Linda? How do I put this in the lightest way possible? I am familiar with simulations, so like smoke, wind, that sort of thing. But I still think geometry nodes are witchcraft. Make of that information what you will. Or otherwise known somewhere in between Grant Abbott and CG Cookie. If we're going by tutorial methods here. Now I did have that one open here. Accidentally got the background. Okay, so that's still not on the most of this should still be fine. Yeah, once I add some variation with wooden planks and whatnot, this should turn out to be quite good. Hopefully. I still need to make windows, I still need to make other planks and whatnot to layer against the walls to make them look more lived in. The safe house is going to be 2 floor deal. I'm going to have a cave for the van, of course. Okay. Oh, that's not on the ground. That's better. This one. Greens. This. Yeah. Oh, now that could be an issue. And these ones I can just ignore because they're just stuff that I've moved out of the way of this aircraft hangar. So you should be able to run through this well enough. So if I'm moving through here at a ground level, and where is the gas tank? Oh wait, I forgot that space is, for whatever reason, teleport. What's the jump button again? V. Why is V the jump button? What a strange button to have as jump. Okay, so that should be reasonable. It stands for very high, which is where you go when you press it. It's probably because they wanted an easily accessible button for teleportation. They figured that space would be the best one. I wonder if it's some leftover of their old game engine days that they used to include. I think it was, what was it, 2.8? They used to have a, what is essentially a game engine, right? It was 2.79 before. Ah, okay, so it was prior to the redesign, right? Because I think 2.8 was the first instance of modern Blender UI. I have a couple of very old Blender manuals just lying about, and I do remember seeing information about that old game engine of theirs. I'll ask the devs to see if I can get an answer for YV. I mean, you can if you want to. Chances are it's probably just an easily accessible key. Alright. Couple more and then I'll probably head off for the night. It's just these last three buildings rather. Okay. We should make a effort to at least get one of these to be the focal point. At least try and get the doors to face front. Front and center, rather. Damn it, Nightbot, what have you done? Really? An emote? Are you serious? Okay, that's it. Nightbot's going into, probably another internship program because how many times? I'm so sorry, Likely. That's Nightbot's fault. At some point, I am definitely going to have to set up StreamerBot or something because this is getting slightly out of hand. Apparently, using an emote is spamming caps. Yeah, the emote was mostly capitalized, but even then, that should not have been reason for Nightbot to lose its shit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have a look at that when I get off the stream. Oh, I didn't do this one. Bad bot. Honestly, yeah, like, I'm gonna be real, Nightbot has been absolutely horrendous at its job. Like, it is not for a single person other than poor Likely, who has just been doing fun stuff with emotes and whatnot. Like, first it was emotes, then it was something else, right? Like, there was a second thing that Nightbot was whinging about. I don't remember what it was. Somebody will probably likely tell me, though. But yeah, Nightbot has been an absolute menace to society at this point. Like, I don't know what to tell you, chat. Okay, I think I'm just about done here. I'll probably... Yeah, I'll build out this one while I'm here. So what I can do is I can duplicate this. And just set it up here. I have to do something about Nightbot because I'm afraid my chat will go on a crusade against it. And that is some sort of messy stuff I don't want to deal with. Okay, that could be a problem. Idea, Nightbot is sleep deprived because it's up all night given the name. Yeah, it could be the case. But I mean, like, what moderator doesn't spend egregious amounts of times up at weird hours of the night? Like, can we really blame Nightbot for that? Like, I assume, like, every person who's ever been a moderator has been there. Closest. Oh, wait. Crap. I would have preferred to be able to do this one. Now I can grab one. Maybe we should have just sped up. Right, I think I've made pretty decent progress here. I've gotten all these walls filled out. I was once woken up at like 2 a.m. because I got 17 phone notifications for reports back to back. Yep, been there, done that. Unfortunately, lived to tell the tale about it. But yeah, it'd be like that on Discord and Reddit, I imagine, as well. Anyway, I think that's probably enough for tonight. So I'm going to save this and I am going to end the stream. Do I have anyone to raid tonight? I do not. There is exactly 0 people who are streaming at this hour, which is completely understandable because it's probably like midnight in the States. Anyway, I shall see y'all tomorrow where I'll be continuing on this project.